into this more of an intense tapping session. Now in the past I know I've had my own thoughts on tapping. It's one of those sounds or things that have really grown on me, and now I'm very intrigued and I'm very much into exploring those ASMR related feelings you get from tapping. So with me today I have a lot of different types of textures which I'll be using and doing a binaural tapping thing for your enjoyment. So hopefully you feel nice and tap out at the end and you feel good and relaxed. And I'm going to try and work my magic and make you feel good, basically by doing these sounds from your right side to your left side and then back from your left side to your right. And just mess around with all these nice sounds and sensations. Constantly feel like when I'm doing that, I'm going into a kind of drum beat or something. It always ends up like that. So you must forgive me, as I haven't really made any sorts of tapping noises in any of my videos purely because it hasn't been a trigger for me. Until recently, and all these strange new sensations are coming to me, and my ASMR, like I said in previous videos, it's been really strong and unexpected in a lot of things in which I'm doing, so I really am on the hunt for all these new ASMR videos and ASMR creators which I hadn't seen before, just so I can really home in a little bit. And it turns out that tapping, something which I thought just did the opposite to ASMR, give me ASMR, turns out that not even I can keep away from tapping and getting those sensations. It's so strange how it works. It's like ASMR immunity, when you get it and then it disappears and then comes comes back. It's very strange. So hopefully we've got some object here which will benefit you and really help trigger those tapping ASMR triggers for you, and hopefully we can try and create it so it's nice and intense for you, and at the same time not so intense and relaxing. So I have a lot of boxes with me here, so we try with some different things, different textures, smooth textures, slightly coarse, slightly wet, that sort of thing. We'll find the right tap for you, and when we have, then hopefully you get the ASMR which you came here for, which you were born to have. What I notice is there's different sort of tones and levels to all the objects in which you use to tap, and this one has a really nice deep, just nice level tone to it. It's quite nice, it has quite a nice delicate sound to it, different textures in there. So I'm going to go for something a little bit larger this time. Should create a different type of sound to it. one is a little bit more tricky to capture the sound as I can hear it as it travels up out of the top of this decorative vase, but I'm not sure if it will come out on the microphone. And that's when the label comes in handy at the bottom. It has a very sticky element to it, which sounds pretty nice. Okay, well, put that one back down there. Now, the next one, which we're going to use, it has more of a mellow, more refined tap to it, and it kind of soaks in the sound. As it's supposed, it's a sponge, so the sound is more locked in here. But it's very, very satisfying. I suppose the trick here is just literally finding the object. I find myself going through a lot of things, listening to the sounds, and thinking that's borderline. I can't trigger myself, but it could be borderline. That trigger in my ASMR, which I know then onwards can be used in a video. And this is something which I have used before. And if you use it from different angles, then you get different textures and levels to the tapping. I keep forgetting that this isn't one of my ASMR immunity videos to cure your ASMR. Pardon-moi, ASMR immunity. And so I suppose it's pretty cool that I could show the objects for once, not trying to keep it a secret, to try and keep your mind from guessing the object, and therefore making it more achievable to get ASMR when you least expect it. I find the intensity of the tapping, for me, it helps trigger me, but it's not all about me. It's about creating variety, and you could be a little bit different from me. I hope you're not. With me some latex gloves, and hopefully, if this works how I want it, then there should be quite a nice sort of sticky element to the tapping on these next that's what I'm hoping for anyway. Some more textures, more layers to help increase the intensity of the tapping. If I get these on my damn hands, then we can get to it. They say universal, but look, my fingers don't start there, they start down there. Okay, so we can test it. Okay, let's try it on a new object. Something slightly bigger. People might be familiar with this. This is very handy sometimes, but can also be used to capture the sound a little bit more on the tapping. Creates a slightly different sound, and that's why I think that one works. As even just copying it and moving your hands around it, it sounds nice and pleasing. So the item I have is a little bit smaller. This is a little tiny bit of foam, but I've never been able to acquire foam quite like this, and it always seems like it's wet. So we'll give that a good old tap and see where we get on with it. I suppose what we're doing all the time with ASMR videos is kind of soundscaping for our enjoyment, where we find different objects, create the sound, and I just think, how amazing would it be if you were a sound designer on a movie like Ben Burtt from Star Wars, for example, who did the sound editing on that. Think of all the iconic sounds he came up with, but the ones that he must have recorded, and that must be, for someone with ASMR, just an ASMR dream delight to actually hear all these different sounds and things. That's only if you're concerned with the sound element. Like for me, my ASMR is really built on a lot of things and incorporates a lot of things, not only things like tapping or close-up personal attention or binaural sounds, plastic and paper and bricks. So sometimes as well. It's even just the way someone moves with movement, if they're doing something and then wrist the hand out, and I find it, especially now when I'm out buying presents for people, I'm at the counter and I'm just sitting there ready to pay, and whoever's just packaging everything and doing all the items and things required to package my items and give them to me so I can purchase it. Everything they're doing, I'm in a trance straight away, and I will just be standing there, and I think I feel guilty because at those moments I feel so good, and I feel like I'm getting it all for free in person, and if I want more then I'll just go and get something and take it to the till and do it all over again. So it's a good system this time of year if movement helps your ASMR. I think that might be something that I'm interested in doing for a video, more of over the counter thing, but you see the counter and all the hand movements and everything. Maybe that could work, maybe. So for me, you really can't beat over the counter free ASMR. It's so great. Okay, something which I find really helps with my ASMR when it comes to tapping, and that's delicate items and well packaged things. Now I don't know where the well packaged thing comes from. For me, seeing everything just working and packaged right, it's hard to explain, but it helps trigger my ASMR, and objects like this, compact, really help trigger my ASMR. I come so close to triggering myself sometimes, but it never quite gets there. So, do hope that you had an object in there which was the right texture for you and worked well with the tapping and gave you some intent. Tapping to help trigger your ASMR. Now, like I said, a lot of these tapping videos is new to me, and it's different, but I'm willing to try new things just to help my ASMR and just benefit from everything for it. And why not? Because it makes us feel good, right? So we must do the things which really make us feel good. And if ASMR is that, then that's great. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, it was different, it was new, but hopefully you got some relaxation out from that, some triggers. Hopefully you're zoned out or whatever. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I'll be seeing you again soon.